Hello everyone and welcome to the Reigning Grades Kingdom. My name is Elle and today is all about Punnett squares. But before we get into the video, make sure you go downstairs and click that like button, and also don't forget to subscribe and press that little bell notification so you can be notified whenever I post a new video. So without further ado, let's make it boom.
Oh goody, because I have some questions.
Whoa, where did you come from?
Well, I have a mommy and a daddy. And
skip ahead a few years.
I just walk in, your door's open.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Ah, well, thank you for inviting me.
Okay, what's your question?
Well, how do I set it up?
Well, I guess that's a good place to start considering that's what we're here for. So let's draw a rectangle and separate it into quarters and then we're done. Actually, just kidding. Now I'm going to write some buzzwords like alleles, and hopefully you'll know what those are before we actually begin this process. So dominant versus recessive and Mendel's pea plants. We'll actually be using those for our first example. And as you know, the two possible flower colors are dominant purple and recessive white, as shown on the Punnett square. Now that we've lined up the parents, we can then drag the alleles down to their respective squares in the Punnett square and fill it all in. As you can see, all four offspring are purple, and Mendel saw this and took two of the hybrid offsprings and decided to cross those. So in this Punnett square, that's what we're doing. Next, we'll drag the alleles down again to their respective boxes, but as you can see, these offspring have a different genetic makeup. So 3/4 of them are purple, but 1/4 is white, and that's super interesting. But I digress. Now we know how to set up a Punnett square and use it to solve problems with single traits.
Then how can you test the probability of something with two traits?
Well, that's easy. Just plug it into your Punnett square.
And plug it in we shall. So you can test traits like color and shape, such as purple, yellow, wrinkled, and round. Now, the first way to test this out is to draw a Punnett square with 16 squares, which I don't recommend doing because that can get highly confusing. So let's say we're crossing a heterozygous purple round pea plant and a white wrinkled one. We'll then draw two Punnett squares, one to represent color and the other one to represent shape. Then we'll line up the parental alleles accordingly and start filling in our Punnett squares just as if we were testing for one trait. So now we can see the probability of having two separate traits, but let's say I wanted to find the probability of having a purple wrinkled plant. Well, then I would take the probability of having a purple plant, which is 1/2, times the probability of having a wrinkled plant, which is 1/2, to get the answer 1/4.
Oh, well then, Elle, I have a question. What if I wanted to test something with 4 different traits?
Well, then you should just watch my video on pedigree probability.
I did not like that video. It's too fast.
So let's use me for the sake of an example. I have blue eyes. That is a recessive trait.
You have blue eyes and your mommy has blue eyes, but your daddy had brown eyes. I know that.
How do you... Never mind, let's just draw.
I love to draw.
Good for you. Now let's pick letters to represent the alleles.
Blue and brown start with B. Let's use that. Okay, so your daddy had a big B because he was brown, but I don't know the other letter.
That's okay. Let's just fill in the Punnett square like normal and leave one allele spot blank.
Okay, then your mommy had 2 little B's because she had blue, which is recessive.
Right. So if you look at our Punnett square, you can already see that half of the offspring from this mix will have brown eyes. But I have blue eyes, so of course my dad needs a little B, so he could have had me.
I did it!
Hey, look at that. You're a natural.
Oh, gotta go. I also saw a nice flower. I'm gonna take that. Bye!
No! Oh my gosh.
That's silly.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that I helped you get an A on your test. Much love always from Elle, and I'll see you again soon in the kingdom. This is a family-friendly channel. Skip ahead. Gregor Mendel was a solitary man. He was a monk who loved pea plants. Don't we all, folks? I look very dumb. I've accepted my fate. I'm done.